format is, Dr. Malini explained. Each of them have done well in life, thanks to people like you, cities, partners, but they also have certain challenges. So today's conversation is to what we call is a spotlight. We want to put spotlight on each one of them, but also get advice how they can grow bigger and create a better impact on our cities. So just following the sequence as given here. So I would request Kalpana Ramesh, Rainwater Project. I'm very happy to inform you, she's a Hyderabadi, but also featured in Man Ki Baat. So I'm very, very happy and proud moment for all of you, all of us, that her work has been quoted in Man Ki Baat, and of course, she has done a lot of groundwork. Over to you, Kalpana ji.
Thank you, Charigar. Can I move the slides? Presentation, I'll quickly go through it. This is where I started my journey. I was also just another citizen practicing design. I have a design studio. I come from an architecture and design background. And what did I think about water 15 years back? I don't think I even knew how to manage water other than doing managed pipe supply in a typology of building. But beyond that, I wouldn't know water. This is what I understand in crux after 8 years of work on ground as an NGO, as an individual, and today as a startup founder, that our cities are growing too fast. We don't have time to tackle our problems that we are creating day in and day out. Huge amount of urban floods happening year after year, water pollution, especially in the shallow aquifer system. Most of our cities' groundwater is extracted or overmined. So where are we heading? We don't have much time and we need to find a solution. What I found as a social enterprise is lack of awareness. Even in the educated, like what a rainwater can do to us, or how much of infrastructure damage that happens during every urban flooding, which the government battles it out, and what can people do, how we can be part of the impact, how we can join hands to create this change, and lack of strict implementation. So we always look at the policy makers, we always ask for rights while we don't look at our own responsibilities. How do we bring that change? And lack of end-to-end service providers. Does a builder or a person who is building large infrastructure projects, do they have solutions? Do they have end-to-end solutions? Is there anyone who understands different typology of buildings and integrate a solution for them for water? So you don't systematically throw the water into the drains. Is there a solution? Is there a strata understanding? Is there a scientific way to do this? So what we did as Rainwater Project is broke down the city of Hyderabad into 98 smaller micro watersheds. Because what I realized on ground in the last 8 years is if we connect to people, we are able to make this change in a locality, and how to build this change, how to create this awareness. So if you see in crux, this is the problem with any block that we have divided in the city, which we call a micro watershed. So you have different typology of water that can be tapped, that can be saved, that can be worked around. So this is in crux what you see. So we started working on lakes and water bodies where community engagement, I think, is the key to a sustainable society. Because without communities, any solution that you develop cannot go in the long run. So community development and having a few buildings remove their sewage lines out of the lake and putting it into a legal system. Now this took some time, but it almost sounds impossible, right? But it was possible by creating awareness with people. Instantly the lake turned out to be 30% cleaner. So these are solutions that we tried on ground and it has worked. So working with my own studio, different types of clients that I had, different types of typologies of buildings, we were able to make sustainable stories for water, understanding the different strata. If you know, Hyderabad is a very challenging strata. Most of it is rock. How do you do rainwater harvesting in that? Do you have anybody that can give you an end-to-end solution? Do you have anybody that can design, build, implement in different challenging situations? So we started coming up with this solution, and this is the first micro watershed we worked on. And we've been able to make a change that is impacting lakhs of people here, also creating a clean catchment. So the sense and sensibilities of what is water around us, how we can, so also as a social enterprise, we are trying to help builders. We are working with resorts, we are working with hospitals, hotels, large organizations. How do they, go zero discharge for water? While the government has mandated rainwater harvesting, but how do you go zero discharge is something we work around with large industries, institutions, and building modular solutions. You must have heard Ankit in the morning, so we also tied up with them to bring modular solutions and how to scale this up. While doing this, we are also working with the city government college. We're taking large pieces of land. So I'll just go quickly. So we're also looking at step wells because we are erasing a lot of step wells today, which can create this local water security. And we've been able to build this change in a big way where we align with the government, where we align with communities, and bring this, all the solutions that you've been seeing today as startups. We're trying to bring them together, connect the dots, get the CSR funding, help public spaces and also the commercial spaces, and build a water secure Hyderabad. By the way of this, also build a water secure India. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We will take questions later. So, Kalpana's work is primarily in the creating water secure cities through revival of existing step wells, storing the water smartly. So, we will take up some of those questions. Now, I request a different model altogether, Namita ji. She's into the sanitation space. We heard about water. Now we move to sanitation. Very successful enterprise of, again, Hyderabad grown. Very, very successful, if I may say so. Over to you, Namita ji.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope lunch is not making you feel sleepy. So I'm going to play a small quiz with you all before I say and start. Could you just close your eyes for 10 seconds and think, tomorrow morning when you get up, there is no toilet in your house. What comes into your mind? So, what comes in your mind? Any answers, please? So you want to go to the open? Will you enjoy that? So you are scared. So that's what happened to me, and that's how I started. I went to a village and found out, I went to sell them treatment plant, and I found out they didn't have toilets at all. Means like selling the shoes without the socks. So that was selling the socks without the shoes. So that's how my journey began in 2009, 10, and 11. And I realized half of the Indians didn't have toilets. And my sanitation journey and my mission towards seeing India an open defecation-free country began. I will not take much of your time. It's a very quick, so we are an integrated sanitation solution provided, working across complete value chain. We design, build, own, operate treatment systems, toilets, in sanitation and water. We monitor, maintain them for sustainability. We were founded in 2012 officially as a private limited company. We have 850 employees as on date today. We have worked in 21 states. We have strong management team in place. And the pie is that we are the first sanitation company to be listed on NSE Emerge in 2018 and raise public funds. So this is what we do today. We just turn your black water into white water. And whatever way we can do it, we just do it. That is what Bunker Bio is for. Give us your black water and we make it white. Thank you so much.
Waste time. You are just ahead of time, just 2 minutes before. What's your turnover, Namita, now? What's your turnover, if it is not secret?
No, it's not a secret. We are almost
47 crores from 2012, nothing. A women enterprise started in Hyderabad and turnover of 45 and 850 employees. So phenomenal success story. Thank you very much. Just to give a background, they run several FSTPs in Telangana and Andhra. Number one, they have a very smart solution. Now they are upgrading a new model of converting defunct STPs into functional STPs on a service model. So give us a dysfunctional STP in your locality or a municipality, and they will invest and revive it, and then you pay small amounts like a EMI to make it functional. So I think that's, she didn't tell the full story, but phenomenal journey. Thank you very much, Namita. I now invite Neha Mehta from DESME. Thank you, Neha ji, for coming down all the way from Denmark straight to wherever, I think, airport to the venue. Mr. Arvind Kumar spoke a lot about you and your contribution to the city of Hyderabad. We would love to hear about your presence. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and I think the feeling is very mutual. I am very, very privileged to be here, given this opportunity to present the company DESME I'm working for. I am not as smart as all of you to bring my own company and start something new. However, I have started something new in DESME. It's quite an old company, and I will be representing one of the businesses, which is providing solutions and systems for combating floating marine pollution, as you can see on the screen. So it's a very quick, and I don't want the music to play. So I would just see that company is very old. It started in 1834. Started with making church bells to steam engines to many, many things. We are the biggest in manufacturing offshore marine pumps. And the business area I represent is basically cleaning the waterways, cleaning the drains, and I will tell you how we got there. So I joined DESME in 2017, and basically when I joined, I had no job description. My boss said, do whatever you like, and that's like a dream job. And I started exploring what other products DESME have. So they have a lot of booms, barriers, you can see, the one on the left here. And DESME has been doing the cleaning of oceans from oil pollution from more than 40 years. Also one of the world leader in oil spill response manufacturing equipment. And then I started taking those equipment and started seeing, okay, can we do something about it? Can we use it somewhere else? And then the test we started doing is that people are talking about a lot of plastics is going into the oceans. Can we do something about the oceans? Can we remove the plastics? We don't want tsunamis to come. We don't want other disasters to happen in the world. So we started deploying the equipment to collect the microplastic. But at the same time, We also see McKinsey's results and McKinsey's studies, various other studies as well, which say that ocean plastic is only 20% coming from the ocean-based resources, but 80% coming from the land-based resources. And we don't have so much wind to drag all the waste flying out to the oceans. So it is the rivers, it is the water channels. So looking into then drains, rivers, big top rivers, top polluting rivers, and then we said, okay, we're going to control the waste upstream, where it makes sense. And then we started moving from the big rivers to up, and then we went into where the pollution is being generated. So let's not transfer the waste from one city and take it to the another city, just collect it there. And of course, remove it from there as well. And why I'm here is because Telangana has given us a lot of a platform where we could come and demonstrate, where we could test, we could tailor, and we could scale up. We could learn, and we could actually implement our learnings. I know a lot of startups have been talking about that, how they are more or less on the global scale now, or expanding in India very fast. I keep it very low scale and say that start with one, people who are not there yet, and take one thing at a time instead of saying the other one is doing already in 20 states. I am not there yet. Yes, but the time will come. So taking from one, we did to 4, and then now we are going to do the biggest step of taking the waste that has been collected from the rivers, how not to make it just carbon neutral, but how can we make it carbon negative? So increasing the climate performance. And then we're going to process it. That's the project that will be coming up in Hyderabad very soon, and I'm also looking forward to it. You all know about UN SDGs. It's not about only what India is focusing on, but we have to see the planet as one place. We don't know where our children are going to grow up. So if they are in some other country, we have to take care of the whole world. So we have to contribute to many of the goals, local goals, state goals, central goals, national goals, and international goals as well. And then nobody, no company, no technology is anything without its partners who boost us, motivating partners, organizations, authorities. And I am very thankful to everybody who's supporting not only Desmi's, but this platform has amazed me. I should have been here, filling one of those challenges. I want to start my startup as well now. So I would just request that what we have been doing, it's not our only Desmi's responsibility or NGO's responsibility. It's our responsibility. We owe us to the nature, and we need to stop throwing plastics out on the streets anywhere else. So let us care. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neha. I think absolutely spot on time, less than 5 minutes, so great job. Desmi is into helping Hyderabad to clean up the water bodies upstream rather than just solving it downstream. I think it's a great contribution. We would like to see many of your initiatives. We have many cities with water bodies. Warangal is a great example. We have water bodies of 1,000-year-old Kakatiya dynasty water bodies, somewhat polluted. I think your solutions can be taken to multiple geographies. Looking forward to your contribution to Hyderabad and Telangana. Thank you very much, and welcome to Wash Innovation Hub. We will charge a membership fee soon to you, but right now, no. So thank you very much. Now we move to the fourth presentation. Mr. Abhishek Nath is Exora Corporate Services Private Limited, also known as, often we call it as Lou Cafe Man. So Lou Cafe Man is scaled up very fast, started with 1 or 2 pilots, but now he's not spending much time in Hyderabad. He spends most of his time in near Dal Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. And how did you manage to scale up? What is your solution? How quickly, what are your challenges? We will come to it, but your experience, your journey, please.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'll give you a little story. We are all from corporates. In fact, my entire team is here. Now it's a team of many young kids into the team as well. So we've been working and managing buildings all across the world. I was leading a corporate house sitting in Bombay, managing buildings, even the US. In fact, the White House was cleaned by us in my last job. So having cleaning buildings, malls, I would say 99% of the malls in this country have been cleaned or managed by us as a team. We decided one day that we'll start our own enterprise. We started Exora Way in 2017. Today we have around 1,500 people working for us and around 400 plus toilets across the country. The entire USP has been, it's a grit where we started off. This is the picture where we actually started the first one, which is in Shilparaman, when I was given the opportunity by the government of Telangana, where we had this little space which was messed up. It had a Chinese counter, a vendor basically standing there and saying that this is my space. That's the time we realized that there's an opportunity in this area. As Namrata said, toilets is a business which e-commerce can never take over. You need to physically go to a toilet. So that's where it is, and that's what the wash sector is all about. We all in the room here represent a sector which is phenomenally large, unorganized, and an unorganized sector is one which can always generate revenue. That's what the story of Amul is. Amul was a company which started when the milk vending was basically unorganized, and today it's a large company, and wash sector is exactly the same. I think what Inkwash is doing today is building a large hub in Hyderabad. I'm sure that's going to take over the Y Hub and the T Hub. I am sure I should not be saying that, but yes, it'll take over the Y Hub and the T Hub and give us opportunity. So when I come into the Lou Cafe, in the technology term, Lou Cafe is an open API. It's an open API where a lot of people, a lot of young entrepreneurs can associate themselves with. They can actually start their own entrepreneurial journey. We've created around, I would say around 70 entrepreneurs at this stage who've been working with us, building their livelihood and making a living for their families. So the entire journey is about grit. There are a lot of young IS officers in this state who've inspired us, helped us to grow. Praveena ma'am is right here, Santosh is right here. They've given us ideas off and on to tell us, let's tweak the model, change it, and help it scale to better heights. So that's the journey. It's been a wonderful journey, and I invite each one of you right here, if you want to be incubated with us, you need support in terms of funding. It's difficult. It's difficult to raise money in this sector because banking go towards brick and mortar kind of a concept. We would help you because there are a lot of experiences, a lot of goodwill which we've generated nationally and internationally to get funds into the system. We'll help you to raise funds. We'll help you to get incubated, and Lou Cafe is totally an open API kind of a concept. You can play around with it, use it. We've in fact incubated 2 more startups just recently, one from IIT Madras and another one from Chennai, who are helping convert urine to liquid ammonia. The other one is into vending machines. They've won a patent in talking about sanitary vending machines and in, converting the POS in Lou Cafe into a typical vending zone, so there'll be no cafe at large. It'll be a 100% vending zone right there. Our next opportunity is in Assam. We should be starting Assam in next 10 days. Anybody who's looking forward to be a part of it, please let me know.
Thank you. So I think you got the story, Abhishek. So you combined Lou Cafe is a combination of toilet and a vending zone, and then predominantly you provide free service to the citizen because your revenue comes from retail, which could be a shop, it could be a coffee shop, or it could be a retail product, and that's how you provide service. So is that the business model?
Absolutely, that's the business model.
So what do you need from cities? Suppose you want to go to Kerala or you want to go to Chandigarh. So Chandigarh mayor is here. So आप क्या चाहते हैं चंडीगढ़ में? Land चाहिए, क्या चाहिए?
Give us the small little piece of land which is a dump yard in the corner of your house or in the locality, and we'll convert that into a toilet with a POS. It's a fantastic model. In fact, I was sharing that with Professor Chari the other day. I showed him case studies with around 70 plus vending or hawkers in the city who've now started managing toilets. In fact, that's come out with Madam Praveena's brainchild. In fact, we both were discussing, and this came out from there. So these are small tuck shops where small hawkers have converted their livelihoods managing toilets. So we've built up a small team, and that team goes around, trains these people. In fact, there's one which is very inspirational, who's a cycle shop guy, who's fixing punctures, but managing toilets. So it's all about partnerships. Give us a little space and we'll convert that into a classy toilet, which the citizens can use, and from the startups. In fact, I was reading an article this morning about UTI growing in the medical healthcare field. So in case there are solutions, come to us, we'll collaborate and then provide a better toilet to the society. So that's where it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think these are 4 inspirational stories solving the water and sanitation problems and bringing water security. So let me take a couple of questions, and then I will also open couple of questions for audience to respond. I mean, we'll make it a free-flowing. So let me start with Kalpana ji. I know you, we've been exchanging notes. You have your own ups and downs. Now, it's a no-brainer that we need to conserve water. It's a no-brainer that we need to retain water and revive water step wells and water bodies. We don't need to educate anybody, especially a civil society, civilized society. So why is it so difficult for you all the time? What do we need to do to make it, you will be invited with a red carpet so that you solve the problem of the city. So what should be done?
First thing, Charigaru, is most of us today are connected to the tap and the tanker. We've forgotten our sources. So source sustainability is such an important thing, which is why we have to today depend on water from rivers, right? Though it is for drinking, we are using it in flushes, we're just using precious water for everything else. So connecting to the source, and source sustainability can happen in a local situation. So if governments and authorities come forward, support us in that locality, and there are several scenarios which I've shown. It could be on the streets, it could be our wells, it could be our, or mandating this thing in every building, or, making it zero discharge, not just to have a rainwater harvesting pit. I think if we get this kind of support, we can create this replicable model in a certain zone. So what we are trying to do is now, even for citizen awareness, we're trying to make it data-driven. We're going to map an entire block and tell you what is the amount of pipe supply, how many bore wells, how much groundwater is being taken out from this place, how much recycled water is available. So to our surprise, there's excess water everywhere. We don't know how to manage it. So if we are able to manage it with the government, with the communities, and together we can make a very sustainable source sustainable. Yeah.
So what you're saying is, if we can manage it well in a small geography, we create what is called a water positive story.
Absolutely.
Instead of a depleting situation. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Because just the urban flooding, if you take for example, look at the kind of infrastructure we keep rebuilding year after year. I mean, when is this going to stop? When are we going to become responsible as a city? When are we going to use this rainwater which is free of charge? It comes to your doorstep. How are we going to safeguard this? So we've created examples with even religious institutions where a masjid is taking care of a well we've restored today.
Sure.
Where a large builder, seeing the impact of what has happened with the well restoration, he didn't have to buy a single tanker for his entire 1,000 apartment project. Now he wants to go zero discharge.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So, and how has been the response of the corporates? Are they responsible as part of, because there are many corporates in this room. Are they generous with you, or they count pennies?
Last couple of years, everything has been COVID mania, so we've not been able to tap much from the corporates. But I would like to here invite and say that Telangana has more than 550 heritage step wells all across the state. So that's what we are looking at. I mean, if corporates are hearing us out, please pick up these step wells, create source sustainability for our cities, for our villages, and just support us. We can indeed become an example for the whole country.
So, Josna, can you put the partners slide again? So, all the partners who are on this, pick up a couple of step wells and contribute to Telangana. And all the corporates who are sitting, please join hands with someone like Kalpana and then help revive some of these water bodies for water secure future. Thank you, Kalpana.
Also, sir, I just want to say one more thing. Even in the urban areas, in cities, roads are a great opportunity to tap water. If we, and it's very challenging strata. I mean, if any of the government authorities invite us, we'll probably lay out a plan for you in that zone, understand the strata, and tell you scientifically how many structures where and how to be built, and how to build even maintenance-free structures. So we can partner and work in a great way.
Thank you. I wish Mr. Reddy, NVS Reddy was here. Metro Water Project, actually, Hyderabad Metro Project, whenever I travel flyovers, there's a whole huge water falling from flyovers as well as metro pillars. Probably we could tap that water and then you can join forces with RETAs and then save this water and convert our pillars into green zones. The vertical pillars can become green zones. Thank you. So Namita ji, ये बताइए, आप कहाँ से, राजस्थान से हैं?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you are Hyderabadi.
Completely Hyderabadi.
Totally Hyderabadi. So tell me, what do you need from government to scale up your activity? The way you have built your business in Telangana, how do we collaborate with 10 other states? What support you need for this sanitation activity to flourish? And what are the challenges you experience on a day-to-day basis? Apart from cash flows coming from, that's one big challenge, I know. But apart from that, are there any procurement procedures that needs to be simplified? Are you experiencing any problems when you go to a state where they ask for turnovers, they ask for pre-qualification criteria? Because you have done fantastic work in the area of fecal sludge management, in the area of STPs. So what are the challenges that, and what are your expectations from cities?
So first thing, as per the Telangana government or Telangana state is concerned, I'm very fortunate to be here actually, because this state or this, especially Hyderabad, has given us so much opportunity to women entrepreneurs. I have never seen it any other state. Because I worked in Bangalore, I worked in Gujarat, Delhi. No government is so proactively pushing women to do something. Hats off to the government.
I think you should say this to our minister tomorrow.
Yes, I will
Please.
tell them, because I have seen the change. I came in 2008 and today it's 2022. And the 10 years I have seen the change. I have acquired a land for industry which would have been dreamed somewhere else. So that's kind of support we get here. And that support every state gives to its entrepreneurs. That will be the first change. I think that's the first change. Second thing is about the procurement, which Sir said. Telangana has been more progressive than other states. The terms, the conditions, the way they look at entrepreneurs, the way they call up on the ideas is much, much better than any other state. We are very, very choosy also now, because we started feeling that when my government, my Telangana is giving me so much, why do I need to work in other states so much? That's the first thing. But definitely it's not...
You're annoying many other states, so...
No, but now I'm telling that also. It's not that. We are ready to work, and I think this can be an example that things happen only when we work in partnership. And Telangana government and Banka Bio has worked on some of the projects from inception to execution levels, and we are very happy that we have done it. And
So just, I know, one is about the government support, but you came up with what is called, I saw in the downstairs, something called SaaS model.
Yes.
Would you like to briefly, in 1 minute, could you explain what is the SaaS model in the sanitation space?
Yes, it's an urban SaaS, we call it urban SaaS, where we are offering STPs or water treatment, wastewater treatment as a service. We came across in the government or in the private space that funding was one of the challenge for people to execute these projects. Even putting up a simple 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs for any STPs. For this reason, they were choosing inferior technologies which were not sustainable. So what we did is we came up with a service model where you don't have to invest upfront. It will be just like a home loan. You take the asset, pay over a period of time, and in that period we maintain, monitor, replic, everything will give you, and you just have to bother about the quality of water. That, and second important thing in this, that whatever we recycle, we are giving back to you for reuse 90%. And now we are asking the societies to commit to give 10% to the neighboring living beings. That means co-living and coexistence. So the treated water for potable use is going to be shared with the slum areas and the people living around the big colonies. So that way we are securing two water security here, the community security, which is the residential colonies, plus the people who are staying around. They don't have to depend on water tanker coming 3 days or 4 days in a row. So this is a win-win situation for both. So this is what we are doing right now. So anyone, if you want your STPs to be looked at, we are there to see it.
So you're like a doctor for STP, and then you cure, but also you don't charge upfront, but you charge over a period of time based on the service that you offer. Thank you very much. So Nehaji, tell me about this initiative, what you mentioned. How expensive is it? Is it very expensive to bring in such solutions of cleaning the water bodies? Is it always imported, or we can do it locally? How does it work?
He wants me to reveal all the secrets here. No, I would not say it's expensive. So I think, again, like you said, there can be many models. DESME also, of course, DESME is a commercial company, but we have models for governments, another subsidy models, NGOs. So there's, you know, if CSR funding comes, there's another model. And again, the lease model is there. What we are doing in Hyderabad, it is, again, it's a period of 5 years.
So can you, just in 30 seconds, can you explain what you propose to do in Hyderabad for the benefit of everyone?
Yes, so it's, we are working in different cities. Delhi we started, then Mumbai some projects are coming up as well. Bangalore there are some projects, but Hyderabad is completely unique model, I would say, that we started with one pilot project, that is investment of DESME to conduct a project, install the equipment, operate it with the help of municipalities, and then operated for 9 months, 1 year period. And then once they were satisfied with the performance, once they were satisfied with the results, we requested if we could replicate or we could scale up.
So when you say that it's about revival of the water body?
It's taking the visible trash, service trash out. Yes.
Out.
So then you can do your work afterwards.
Okay.
So it's again about partnerships. You know, not one person or one company can come and solve all the problems. It's hands put together.
Okay, thank you. So we had set up 4 different enterprises. They work very closely with cities, grown reasonably fast in the last 5 to 7 years. Started here but scaled up very fast. Now the floor is open for a couple of questions. If you want any clarifications, if you want any details, the floor is open. Any thoughts?
Mr. Chari, we could probably start with the questions which came up.
Oh, is there a question? Okay.
So there are 27 questions.
Okay, so this is observation.
12 questions.
The 12 by, this is the 12, urban water management, Kalpana designs, water harvesting, RWS, lack of end-to-end solution, old well, old bribe wells are utilized for water recharging. So is there any question in it, or, yeah, keep moving if there are any questions. Okay, Namita ma'am, converting a small phytoride-based STP 250 KLD to FSTP possible. We have to look at it. Yeah, so just to, who asked the question? Can somebody raise your hands? Who asked this question? Converting a phytoride-based 250 KLD plant into a FSTP. Who asked this question? Yeah. Can somebody pass on the mic? Just to keep it a little more engaging, otherwise post-lunch blues. Quickly introduce yourself and repeat the question, what you have in mind.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. I am Harish. I am representing Municipal Corporation Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. And I wanted to ask the question that we have a 250 KLD STP, which is built over Nala, but that capacity is not good enough to treat the entire sewage. And we do lack FSTP in our city. And my idea is to convert it into FSTP. Like we already have the infrastructure, and it is a phytoride-based STP. Similarly, in Chhattisgarh, we have made FSTP based on phytoride. So is it possible that STP could be converted using the same infrastructure?
That is a very standard question. Can STP be converted into a co-treatment facility? Co-treatment is the septage coming from the on-site systems like septic tanks, can it be treated in a STP? So would you like to respond, or should I summarize it and then? Okay, so co-treatment is very much doable. I've done it in Hyderabad Water Supply and Storage Board, but it should have sufficient buffer in your STP. So since your plant is only 250 KLD, one has to study how much availability of buffer capacity is available to dump a sludge, which is a highly high pollution potential. Septage is almost like 5,000 milligrams per liter of BOD, and whereas your STPs are designed for 250 to 300 milligrams per liter. So उसके ऊपर उसका gap देखते हुए उसको co-treatment बना सकते हैं, मगर examples है, but it has to be investigated. Next question, please. There's one interesting question. Yeah. It is not possible for small municipalities or small corporations to pay in advance to Ixora, otherwise it's a good initiative. Abhishek, would you like to respond? Are you asking money? I thought you are giving free. It's a PPP.
So we work on a couple of models. One is a 50-50 kind of a model where 50% is taken from the municipal corporation and 50% is put in by us. But certainly we can always work around the entire concept and look at a concept where we invest and then later in a phase-wise manner get some money out of this entire concept. Because what happens is in case it becomes a 50-50 kind of concept, becomes slightly lighter to progress faster. So that's where it is.
So can you give me an example where you work in a chota municipality?
So I'll give you an example what we're doing in Assam right now. So what we're doing in Assam is it's a very small municipality where we're working. In fact, we're working in areas where there is barely little livelihood. So we're working on a 50-50 kind of a concept with the government of Assam, where we're putting up these toilets. We're taking local entrepreneurs, or rather training them to actually start their own entrepreneurial venture and then manage and maintain these toilets. So it's a 50-50 kind of a collaboration, which is helping us to scale the entire area and take the entire toilets to the right.
Thank you. So they work based on your requirement, customize the solution. It also depends on the location. Suppose if it is a very prime property where the retail is decent, then they can probably think of a different model. Now there is one more question before. What about the financial sustainability of your solutions from small local bodies point of view? Ye kaun pucha tha? Who is asking this? Who is asking this question? Somebody can raise your hand. Yeah, please. Can somebody give the mic? Boss, mic Divish. Can somebody raise your hand so that the mics can be passed on? Who is it for? Which one of them? Is it for all of them or one of them?
It's okay, President.
Okay, so are there any other questions? Interesting questions?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. How am I on time, or I have another couple of minutes?
No, you've exceeded your time.
Sorry, exceeded my time. So just like to thank all the 4 enterprises, fantastic initiatives. I request each one of you to share your details. We are of course sharing the details, but I think these are very practical, hands-on, and replicable model. Again, the burden is on the cities as much as I can say to adapt them, work with them, and then solve the problems. I also say that, for example, particularly Kalpanaji's, it's not one size fit all, it has to be customized. So you need to have that patience to work with them. I know cities are generally impatient because you have 100 things to do. You need to have a bit of patience to work with them. So you need to have somebody called Officer on Special Duty for Innovations. So this is the way forward. You should have somebody called Officer on Special Duty who has patience to work with these people to solve the problems. That's all I can say at this time. Thank you very much, all the four of you, for your wonderful contribution to the sanitation and water supply space. We will be in touch with all of you. And
Kariji, I would like to say thank you very much to ASCI, to the government officials that are here. Special thanks to the government of Telangana and Arvind sir, who has pushed us to be here and be part of the Indian innovation, even though I'm representing Danish company. Great honor. Thank you.